Hey, and thanks for checking out Fluid. I'm really excited today to share with you just how simple Fluid and Equinix Metal make deploying modern workloads like Kubernetes workloads and your traditional VM style workloads in a highly scalable, super secure, and really quick deploying environment. Fluid makes it really easy to deploy Kube. Not only to deploy Kube in environments like Equinix Metal, but it also makes it really easy to scale your on-prem deployments and access all of those deployments from our cloud service. Anyways, that's enough of me talking. Let's jump in. So I'm here in the NetApp Blue XP portal, and this is how we access and control Fluid. Simply, we jump down to the extensions category and click on operations. This is going to open up that Fluid dashboard. And let's go ahead and deploy our first workload. So Fluid deploys environments, and environments are simply a number of computers. They can be physical, they can be virtual, they can be in the cloud, or they can be in your own data center, or in the back of a taxi, we like to joke. But let's jump in and click on the Environments tab and define our first environment. We'll step through the steps. I'm going to call our cluster Video. We'll select our anticipated node count, and here I think these nodes are going to be less than 128 today. And then pairing keys, well, because we haven't booted anything yet, we don't have any pairing keys. We have an awesome way of automating this flow in Metal. So we can ignore that for now. Click Next. Right, our details are right. And click Create. This goes ahead and sets us up to create our new environment. So let's go ahead and start provisioning some workloads. So go into Environment Info, we'll see that we have no nodes, and we've also not defined any Pixie boot keys. We're going to use a Pixie boot key in this environment to tell Metal how to join this particular cluster. So we simply go ahead, give it a name, Metal. We generate that boot key, which gives us a unique identifier for this environment. And then we just select Equinix. And you can see this has given us a unique boot URL, which is actually an iPixie file. Let's copy that because we're about to use that. Now I can go over to the Metal console, and I can simply deploy some infrastructure on demand. I'm going to choose my closest metro, and if you haven't guessed by my accent, it's going to be Sydney. And I'm going to select some infrastructure size. Let's go for a C3 medium. Now when it comes to choosing an operating system, this is how we define Fluid. We simply select custom iPixie, give it that URL, which is not that URL. It's going to be this URL. And then select Always Pixie. Scroll down. We'll set our host name, and that's fine for now. $1.80 an hour, bargain. And then we can deploy now. Cool. Our server's deployed successfully, so now all we have to do is wait. I'll see you in a second when it's booted in about 10 minutes. And now I'm back over here. But we can now see that that server is now running, and it's had some time to boot up and let all the Fluid services start. So let's have a look and see what it looks like in the Blue XP console. So if we jump over, we see that environment, and we can go into our environment and now see that we have a node is booted. It's running Jammy kernel. We can see it's running Kube 12410. It looks healthy, it's ready to go. So now we can start to deploy, let's deploy a Kubernetes cluster on it. So Kube is easy. We just jump into the Kubernetes tab here. We can see we have no Kubernetes services running now. So you can jump ahead and create one. Hit create, and let's give it a name. Kube 1. Right, set a version. I like 24.6. And give it a server cider that we're going to advertise our services out of. Simply go ahead, click create, and that's not going to start provisioning. Now, once that's live, it needs a few minutes to start, but once it's live, we can jump in here, we can download the kube config and access that cluster over the internet as if it were in our own environment. You don't need to open up NAT ports, you don't need to worry about securing that environment. We've done it all for you. We've made it super simple. So let's let that chug away, and we can show you other simple deployments like creating VMs, which is obviously incredibly familiar. we can attach it to a VLAN, and that VLAN can natively integrate and talk either directly back to the metal stack, or using tools, advanced networking tools like Netris, to really get the most out of your networking environment in Metal and deploy services like NAT and an internet-facing BGP. We can also go ahead and create some basic BGP peers, and we can peer directly to the Metal fabric. Right, we can take those and make a private peer. We can make a public peer as well and advertise services from our Kubernetes environments directly to Metal and advertise those out to the internet. So as you can see, Fluid makes it really, really easy to go ahead and deploy and start to segment your workloads in Metal, right? And then we can segment those using modern tools like Kube. We can segment them using, segment your existing workloads running in VMs. It's so easy. It was a one-line command for me to spin up an environment, and immediately I've now got a web console where I can go ahead and I can start deploying real workloads. Anyways, we're super excited to see how you use Fluid and where you use Fluid. So let us know, keep us up to date. Our contact details are on the page beneath. And if you have any questions or need some help, we're always here. You can join our public Slack, which is linked below, and you can just find one of us, including me, to give you a hand and drive you through some of your deployments and what that migration strategy might look like for you. Anyways, we're super keen to welcome you onto the platform and can't wait to see what you do with Fluid on Metal.